Nowadays, is it even possible to find a good belt knife made here in the USA for under $100? Well, Cabela's believes that they have done just such a thing with their Bushcraft series belt knife. This is built out of 5160 high carbon steel, has micarta handle scales, and a pretty snazzy Kydex sheath. And I paid $90 for this blade. So those features and data points alone means that this should just be a no-brainer, a total banger, especially when I have previously reviewed the Cabela's chopper in the same series and same materials. I paid just over $100 for that, and this thing blew me away. I will link that original video and it will be tagged in the description. If you are not familiar with this knife, I highly encourage you to check out that video. It is a home run. So, I mean, in theory, same materials, just a little bit smaller, possibly even a little more capable, right? This is, in theory, a total win. Well, as I began to use this blade and put it through its paces, I discovered there were several features that they did not carry over from the chopper, and in some ways majorly hamstring the design. So in today's video, we're gonna find out what those details are. Does the knife still have enough to make it a big win for us in the knife community, especially as camping season, it's coming up upon us? And how does it stack up against a few other options that do come in under $100? If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm Aaron. This is Gideonstactical. Let's have some fun. Now, there are three attributes that both the chopper and the belt knife share in common, and then they begin to diverge. So let's go ahead and hit those three commonalities first. Now, the entire series, including their big machete and hatchet, do not come with lanyard holes. I think that was a miss, and especially on the bigger tools. Now, thankfully, the handles are skeletonized, so I was able to drill out the micarta, run a lanyard hole on the chopper. I think the chopper absolutely needs it in all the larger tools. It's good to have. For the smaller belt knife option, I don't think it's really necessary. It would have been a nice feature. It's only 9 ounces, so you're not gonna be doing heavy chopping, but the ergonomics are enough there that you could do light delimbing without issue. But if that's a deal breaker for you, wanted to share that data point. Next up are the Kydex sheaths. The Kydex sheaths are taco designed excellence. They are superb. They are cherry. I have literally no complaints with them. The Kydex is a taco design, so it's going to cut down on the footprint. It is silent. It is excellently retained. Has a thumb ramp, so it's easy to disengage. The same is true on the chopper and the hatchet that I have. And it's also going to come with a drop-legged, righty-only belt clip that is 360 degrees rotatable. If you put this on the left, it becomes all weird opposite, and it's a very high ride. It wouldn't be fun. Now, you can just take that off, put Blade Tech locks, Ulti clips, Molly locks, because these eyelets are compatible with that. So you lefties can still use it. You just have to come up with a different mounting option. And you can actually unscrew this belt clip altogether, leave the dropped polymer, and then there are 2 holes back in there. I want to confirm that that is true. Yep, there they are, right there. Those line up perfectly with Blade Tech locks and Molly locks. So you could, in theory, actually put like a Blade Tech lock on that drop. So zero complaints with the Kydex sheaths. Now, finally, we have the same stock thickness on that 5160, which Cabela's claims is 58 to 60 on the HRC. So good heat treat and Rockwell from my experience with both of these knives, and with a 0.19 stock thickness on both. It means they are tough, they are robust, and I found will actually hold their edge a little bit longer than some of my other 5160s, because they usually come in more like they do a lower Rockwell usually with that steel. Now, we do not know who the OEM is. Cabela's does not want to share that. They have like a non-disclosure. I would argue it is probably not Tops. We could see that these are being made by Buck or maybe some other smaller manufacturer. Now, with that said, what does that blade, and there is a big difference, even though the stock thicknesses are the same, the grinds are very different, and that means massive difference in performance. And I'm gonna highlight if that's a good or a bad thing here in just a moment. But before we do that, I wanna invite you to like, subscribe, make sure to hit the bell icon so you can be notified every week when I put up new videos like this. And I wanna take a moment to let you guys know about today's sponsor, which is LA Police Gear, and they have a new batch of Atlas BDU pants that, hey, I just happen to be wearing right now that I've been testing out and have really enjoyed the experience. And these are going to be sporting the classic BDU pocket shape combined with the Stretch Tech system found on all Atlas pants, and a high-end YKK zipper, and the tack stud closure. I love that. Versus, a button snap. I mean, I way prefer like the pass-through button versus a button snap. Just way more durable in that sense. And with a 65-35 polyester cotton ripstop fabric blend and 6 total pockets, including massive cargo pockets that easily can handle 3 full-size rifle mags, and articulating knees along with 7 belt loops that can easily accommodate a 2-inch belt. It just makes sense. If you are looking for a high-value, high-performing BDU pant, these are fitting true to size for me. They have a couple different color combinations coming in at $40 currently. Can't recommend them enough. So I will have a link popping up here as well as in the description box below along with my 10% off promo code to help save you guys even a little extra scratch. And encourage you guys to go over. If you need a new set of cargo pants, check out what LA Police Gear's got going on. All right, got to get fueled up here. Okay, so at just over 5 inches, it's like the perfect sweet spot for a camp knife, belt knife. I mean, that's exactly what I look for, like 4.5 to 5.5 inches, freaking home run. Now, at 0.19 stock thickness, that's pretty thick. And what they have done is have put saber or flat grind, and then it kind of transitions into a full flat tip on a slight recurve with that powder coat. Durability's sake, it's going to be awesome, right? I mean, I pound it through wood, splits great, hacks and delimbs, does all the things that you want, and the recurve with the grind geometry does work well with feather sticking. So if you're going to do a lot of feather sticking and curling, that recurve accelerates. I like to use the word velocitize. I was getting a lot of people telling me my grammar was incorrect. I know, on purpose. It's a fun way to say velocitizing the cut. Accelerates and puts velocity behind the cut more than just a standard straight edge. The problem is on just about every other front. When I started, if you're doing like food prep, cordage cutting, hemp rope, cardboard, like any other material outside of basically feather sticking, notching, all of that stuff, the problem is because they have a narrower edge to spine and actually kind of, it almost feels like they brought the grind down even lower. It does not cut as well overall compared to its big brother, the chopper. The chopper is actually a better cutting instrument overall than its smaller sibling because the grind is much higher because of the broader blade in tandem with the good edge geometry that they put on this. This actually accelerates through like removing big sweeping cuts, on a piece of wood to make a spear. Easier to do with the chopper. You're fighting with it more. It doesn't bite in as well for a notch with the belt knife because of the broader lower grind than what its bigger sibling. So shockingly, the sibling chopper, which is larger, is actually better in almost every category. It will hold up fine with all the chopping, batoning, and all the hard stuff, but actually slices better because of geometry. So that in tandem with, which was really interesting, what I think they did, because here's the chopper video, or excuse me, the hatchet video coming soon. The geometry of the recurve matches perfectly with and is the same thickness, like edge to spine, as the neck of the hatchet. So I think they were trying to save costs and kind of like keep the same plumb line with all that. It was just an interesting little data point I discovered. Honestly, the recurve to me is not a deal breaker, but it wasn't necessary. I think they actually would sell more if they had just brought up the grind and made it like a full flat or very high and just given us a general, like grind angle, not a recurve, just a general straight edge in that design, because now you have to work a little harder. And now something like a SHARPAL sharpener, previously reviewed, I'll try and link that. This has diamond and ceramic rods, which make it a lot easier to hone a recurve than a standard flat stone. You can still do it with a flat stone, but it just takes more effort, a little bit more finesse. It's doable, but it could scare some people away. Leave a comment below if recurves scare you or not. So I mean, all of those things coming together is the blade just doesn't perform like its big brother, and it's a disappointment. It's a downer. So with that said, the other attribute that is interesting, I mean, because you could maybe overlook it, and it's just kind of a little beefier, broader, whatever, and you carry like a Mora with you or something to do really fine finesse. Okay, the other issue is the handle. Now, the micarta handle scales on this are block central. It actually reminds me a lot of like Ontario Rats and Essies from like 2010. So it's not unusable. The shoulders at least are a little machined, but they're just like not rounded or contoured at all. Whereas on all the other models, including the hatchet, the machete, and the chopper, they did an epic job scalloping. We got hills and valleys. It's way more contoured. The handle ergonomics of the chopper are far superior, much more comfortable, don't feel like a brick, and don't feel outdated like the belt knife does. Now, that was probably a cost-cutting measure because it takes more time and energy to make this type of handle, but I would have paid an extra $10 to get a more ergonomic handle, keeping in line with the rest of the series. So, guys, in combination with a thick grind that can't perform next to its brother and a not as ergonomic handle, it's okay. It's an okay knife. But if you were to ask me between the two, the chopper is easily far superior. It's $120. That's what I paid for it. Is it $30 better? It absolutely is. It's absolutely $30 better, and you will get overall better performance than on the belt knife. And if you're on a super tight budget, it wouldn't be my first choice if you're on a really tight budget either. I will have links throughout the video to the affiliate networks I partner with popping up here, not only for these Cabela knives, and you can obviously go to a Bass Pro or a Cabela's website or whatever store, and they should have these in stock if you want to go check them out for yourself, or you can just check them out online, including like the hatchet. Again, video coming soon, and I will be getting their machete. But let's go with the US option first, really quick. US option under $100, like is there anything better? Yeah, it's the entire BECKER tweener series. The entire K-Bar BECKER tweener, particularly I believe it's the 19, which is their Nessmach, is currently kind of like my favorite. You get a polymer sheath. You're getting 1095 full flat. It's slightly smaller, but it's just far superior in ergonomics as well as in grind geometry. And Smoky Mountain Knife Works has that for $80. Currently when I'm making this video, link popping up in the description. $80 for a belt knife that will be far superior, and then you can put, you know, aftermarket handle scales, which will bring it to like 110. And again, I would take that every day over this Cabela's belt knife. So that is a very viable American-made option, and many of the other variants float right around $100. So there you go. That's a quick one. And then on the flip side, and of course the chopper would be phenomenal, but this just does not get enough love. Previously reviewed, video popping up if I can. The Off-Grid Knives BACKCOUNTRY V2 also has a little bit of a recurve, but a more gentle, more generic profile, so easier to resharpen. D2 Cryo Steel, OEM is Taiwan, $80, and you're getting a pancake ambidextrous kydex sheath, which is phenomenal. The wear resistance is mind-blowing. This is a fantastic belt knife, highly recommended, and I would take over the Cabela's belt knife in their Bushcraft series. That's me. That's my mileage. But I want to know from you guys, especially if you already own the belt knife, how has it been performing for you? Maybe what are some mods that you've done to get the performance you want out of the tool? I always appreciate your guys' comments, feedback. It was because of you guys that I first even knew about these blades and started exploring them, and we will be exploring the hatchet and the machete throughout the summer. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, guys, appreciate you. Hope you guys are well. And yeah, love you. Check out the other videos, subscribe, and until next time, always remember to stay equipped. Stay prepared. See you out there.